While we have some others still trying to get their plates, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring up tonight's speaker, okay? This brother is known as the educator's educator. His live feeds on Instagram, Tyrik Talks Tuesday, started at Premier Barbering Institute right outside of Philadelphia, where he is the owner and partner. This is where his progress for passion for cosmetology and barbering. He is also the owner of Sharper Image Barbershop in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Now, let me just pause and say I do understand we're in South Carolina. Okay, so depending on where you're from, it could be Lancaster or Lancaster. All right? Can I get amen? Welcome to the stage, your keynote for tonight. Put your hands together for Mr. Tyrik Jackson.
That was pretty good. I didn't know you know that Lancaster reference. You want to leave this here? Is it staying here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me all right? Do I need to turn this up or are we good? It's good? Okay. All right, what an honor. What an honor to be here in the presence of this collective of professionals tonight. I want to first give recognition to Al, the OG BC, who has orchestrated this composition of professionals so that we can be here to enjoy, share, and fellowship. We have gathered here not only to show support, but to honor this collective. Honor, by definition, high respect, great esteem. In a singular form, it's a person or thing that brings credit. You are an honor to our profession, Al, and we all thank you. Can we please give Al and the organization a round of applause? When I was 18 years old, in my oral interpretation class, in 1993, I had a teacher by the name of Nate Gadsden. After reading and listening to an essay that I had written, he had asked me what I wanted to do with my life after I graduated from high school. I told him that I would go to cosmetology school, and because there weren't any barber schools to go to at the time. Well, in short, he told me that my dream wasn't good enough. This is a person that I admire, someone in leadership in the school that would speak into my life. He said I should be a writer. I told him that that was simply his dream and not mine. I also told him that I would work at Champ Hall's barbershop. I'd be an apprentice there, become a manager there, and one day, with passion, I would open up. Just one day, I would open up my barbershop. Well, he said, your dream isn't good enough. College is a better option. He said, there are endless opportunities when you go to college. The people that you'll meet from all over the world, having a high emotional quotient and a strong sense of self-awareness, I respectfully disagreed. Upon applying to cosmetology school, I had learned that day that my mother would be attending with me to follow her dream as a stylist. You see, having to put her dream on the back burner to raise me as a single mother, it took my dream and desire to become a barber that encouraged her to apply to the school as well. You see, sometimes you are the threshold for somebody else's breakthrough. The local newspaper got wind and discovered that there was the first mother and son that would be attending school together. And so that they would come in and do an article on the two of us to discover what that meant for us. An important question was asked to me that day that would forever help to shape the trajectory of my life. The reporter said, "What do you want to become in this profession?" Young, ambitious, naive, and assuming, I simply said what I told my English teacher. And when I said that, that was a few years ago. I then said, I think I want to be a teacher and possibly open up a school, because there were no schools for me to go to. As a 30-year veteran in the industry, I have evolved from an apprentice to a barber, a manager, an instructor, and amongst a few other things, eventually in 2013, a school owner. I found my passion, pursued it vehemently, and opened my school. I have participated, paved, created, adapted, and consumed in a time before social media, before content, before likes, before follows. Our industry has evolved. Let's go on a journey for a moment. A Marvy barber pole, tangled wires, a sprinkle of neck strips on the floor, floor mats pinched with hair between them and the floor. From a time when there was no seating in the waiting area, when clients raced to the shop early Saturday morning to be the first on the list, the phones ringing off the hook, before pagers and cell phones, before appointments and enhancements. From a time when barbers shook hands, passed out cards, kissed babies, actually liked people for real. And I don't mean to double tap, but actually liked people for real. Our industry has evolved. The sound of a hinge on the door squealing or the bell chiming after someone walked in. The smell of Egyptian musk, incense burning in the air. Fresh tout, lilac, bay rum, or some of Clubman's Reserve, just to make a few references of a timeless barber sense. The scatter of magazines like Ebony Essence. The week's lineup of newspapers. And of course, you can't forget the beauty of the month in the Jet magazine. Salaam alaikum. Anyone need incense, oils, bean pies? Said the brother with the kufi in his bag full of goods. Our industry has evolved. The nostalgia of endless chatter in the barbershop. On TV, we witnessed a young black man named Tiger Woods rise to be accepted in a profession where many didn't accept him, including the tournaments that he was winning. On the tournaments, we witnessed the brutal beating of Rodney King while in the barbershop. The fall of O.J. Simpson, Yo MTV Raps, Freestyle Friday, and of course, Soul Train on Saturday mornings, just to name a few. The barbershop had so much meaning, significance. It was a bridge that brought together the working class, politicians, clergy, and some of those folks from the other side of the street. A place where we had some commonality. The barber knew your name, knew your daddy's name, your cousin's name, your uncle's name, your grandma's name. Well, if you knew your grandma's name, we're going to leave that one alone. OGs came into the barbershop smelling like juke. They wore creased slacks with Stacey Adams. The ones with the taps on the back so you can hear them clickety-clacking as they walk through the shop. The little boys wanted to be Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Each service for each kid ended with a lollipop. Our industry has evolved. We now live in a world where no one is racing to be first anymore. Download the app, hit the link in the bio, scan this QR code, set up your next appointment. It'll send you a notification. No more cards to hand out, no more babies to kiss. But follow me on social. Don't text me Watch my Instagram stories for updates and cancellations. The idea of greeting people as they walked in seems to be a forgotten privilege. Our industry has evolved. No more incense, just ambient lights, ring lights, tripods, DSLR cameras, mini mics, and the list goes on and on and on and on. No more subscription to the newspaper or magazines, no more chatter in the barbershop. We have an exclusive experience here. Just people, their cell phones, and consuming content on them. Our industry has evolved. The news now comes from Baller Alert and TMZ. You'd be lucky if the TV is even playing anything at all. You see, in our shop, we play a slideshow of services, events, promos, advertisement, while simultaneously playing background music. With very little men wearing creased slacks now we have clients with the latest in designer fit fashion and exclusive sneakers. The same ones that will complain about your price increase. Because you're the barber competition champion. You're the celebrity barber. You have the celebrity barber status. The facade of high quality service. No, that's not why your prices have increased. It's not because of COLA. For those of you who don't know, that's the cost of living annually. Our industry has evolved. By definition, evolution, it's a process of continuous change from a lower, simpler, or worse to higher, more complex, or better state. To sum it up, it's simply growth. In 2006, when I won the Bronner Brothers Barber Battle, the $25,000, 15 minutes, 3 haircuts. When I went up there as Prince, yes, I had hair at one point. Well, nothing was more gratifying than in 2005, when Nate Gadsden, my English teacher, came in to one of my locations. He shook my hand. He apologized to me. And he told his version of the story when I was in his class. To the entire shop, he said, "This young man is the only student I ever had that told me what he was going to do." And then he went on ahead and did everything that he said he was going to do, and that he was proud of me. I followed up by thanking him, and then I also shared something with him. I said, "I did something else in the process." And he said, "What was that?" "I hired your college graduate son as one of my barbers, and he worked for me for the last 8 years." He laughed, we hugged, and shared our contact information. You see, I like a good competition. We are competing for something. Only you know what that something is, and when we all can achieve these things or goals with tenacity, vigor, passion, will, and a desire to be intentional and consistent. However, collaboration is better than competition. It is my belief that although we have this innate nature to compete, I am certain that the collective of individuals that we have here could continue to innovate, develop, cultivate by inclusion and not of exclusion. We can honor each other's gifts, talents, and abilities. Let's build each other up, support one another's visions and dreams collectively. Let's celebrate one another. Well, we all have a Nate Gadsden, but we also have each other. I can go on and on, but this is just a glimpse or a snapshot of my journey over the last 30 years. I am certain that there are some similarities or some differences when you compare your story to mine. It may have triggered or reminded you of how you have sojourned throughout this profession. There has been this constant theme of bridging the gap at this conference. You need to be a coach, and you need to be a coach to someone else. You need to be poured into, use what has been poured into you, and then you need to pour into others. I was a student. I became a barber. I became a manager. I became a teacher. I taught students. I taught teachers. And now I'm teaching schools and school owners. Find what you're good at. Figure that thing out and help others out with that thing. That's what is called purpose. And in the process, you might make a little bit of coin doing it. I would like to conclude with this. We are all evolving and adapting. We need to be aware of this thing. The thing is this. We're in an ever-changing industry. You either change with it or you die from it. I live by this motto. Serve your needs by serving the needs of others first. It was truly an honor to be here with you all as your keynote speaker. I can go on and on and on and on, but if you want to hear more of me talk, you can find me on Tuesday morning. Tyrik Talk Tuesday, Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Thank you for allowing me to be your keynote speaker today for the OGBC. It has been an honor and a privilege. Thank you all.